The month of January has shown that it is really important to know Civics 101 and to know the significance of the first 100 days of a presidency for any president. The significance of the first 100 days dates back to Franklin D. Roosevelt. When Franklin D. Roosevelt took office, a quarter of Americans were jobless. A quarter million of Americans defaulted on their mortgages the previous year, and about 1.2 million Americans were homeless. In the first 100 days of Roosevelt's presidency, he pushed 15 major bills through Congress that reshaped the country. Bills that had to do with agriculture, bills that had to do with the economy, as well as social welfare. And disenfranchised communities were hit the hardest. In 1932, approximately one half of Black Americans were not employed. And racial violence was commonly ignored, and it was on the rise. But there were cases of racial injustice that went national that forced people to look, and they couldn't look away, like the case in Scottsboro, Alabama, where 9 men were convicted of rape and they were innocent, something that they didn't do and it was proven, but they were still put in prison for numerous amounts of jail time. And they weren't pardoned until 2013, and this happened in 1933. I say all that to say Franklin Delano Roosevelt set the tone for what the first 100 days means to U.S. presidents. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing U.S. president do things to show what the next 4 years will look like, what to expect, to show that there's a new sheriff in town. You know, I hate that phrase, but that's literally what this is. Yeah, so I also say all this to say it's important to be mindful of the steps that are needed in order for a president to push something forward that they would like to do. Same thing with a senator, a state senator, or a federal, Congress, U.S. Congress member, or a U.S. senator, the same thing. There's steps that have to happen before they can do anything. So there are a lot of news headlines coming out about different things being put on pause, financial aid being put on pause, comments about the current president freezing the education department, the U.S. Education Department, FBI, the FBI. There's a lot. And remember that a lot of these things that are there are in the Constitution. And to just remove a whole department, you have to abide by the rules of the Constitution or change the Constitution. And a lot of times that requires Congress and the Senate to sign off on that.